That's hilarious.
This one? This one?
Can
there
you
we
hear
go.
us now? I love how he just rambled on for like however long it was, 5 minutes, and nobody could hear it. Good thing it was visual and you could look at stuff that I was talking about.
So do you want to give a quick recap of what the heck that just was?
So the first thing that I was talking about, the Haunted Mansion print, a Weekly Tear sent me, actually as a wedding gift, and I absolutely adored that I got a Haunted Mansion thing. I got a couple Haunted Mansion themed things for as wedding gifts. I thought that was perfect. But this is actually a print that was, you could only get it at Mickey's of Glendale. And she also sent me a set of ears that were purchased from Mickey's of Glendale that were Haunted Mansion as well. So I was really excited about that. The cool thing about that, as you can see, is the matting came with it. The only thing I did was I put it in a frame that I bought at Michael's. So it looks like awesome. And then the other one that I was just talking about, the one that's back here, we actually I just picked this up at Disneyana. What I was thinking about that is I was giving everyone a little preview because this week we talk about Disneyana for our discussion topic. We mostly, for the episode, focus on Saturday, which was all the presentations and the Legends dinner. Sunday we talked about a little bit, but this was something that I picked up from the sale on Sunday, and it was Rick Law that was the artist behind this. Rick was he used to work for Disney as an animator, and good job. I like how they were like just making up their own, we're gonna pretend this is what she's talking about thing. But anyway, so that I did pick up at Disneyana. Rick used to work for Disney. He was an animator, but he did covers of the different VHSs. He had a whole slew of ones he did. The one that stuck out, and the only one that I can remember off the top of my head, was the Black Cauldron. He animated and drew that cover. It was so, so cool. But this is Walt's Barn. The original of this is watercolor that he donated and they auctioned off to raise funds that all went back to Walt's Barn. And he continues to sell the prints. I think this originally was done in 2017. He continues to sell the prints, and the prints still go, the proceeds go back to the barn. So no brainer for me to pick that up this past weekend.
Now that we have audio, I want to say hello to Janie and Chris and Melshane and Kat and Will and Joanne and Lee and Kim and Donna and Todd and Ashley. And I don't think
I just got
else.
so excited about the stuff that I was just going, and Tag was making sure the link was posted in all the appropriate places.
And you couldn't hear me. And you couldn't hear me, but I said, I'm sorry if you're saying anything in the chat. It's hidden behind the window. And there we go.
Lesson learned. We need to verify that everything's working
before we're trying to figure out other things.
Before we do other stuff. So apologies to everyone about that.
Oh, and then you didn't show this off. I'll show this off.
Nope.
So we
I didn't get to that
showed
yet.
this off too. Well, you had to do it twice, right? So the other thing that we got is one of the Imagineers at the Disney event was Terry Hardin, and we do talk about this on the show this week as well. But she did two line drawings of things. So she worked on the Dragon's Lair in Paris. This is one of the line drawings she did of the castle from Paris. Let that focus, hopefully. Okay, well, that's about as good as that's going to get. And then she did a color version as well, which these are just gorgeous. And then, of course, she signed the bottom of both of them. And both of these, the originals, were sold as part of the Disneyana auction, and they made quite a bit of money for them. Oh, good, you brought your books up.
I did bring my books.
Teresa and I also purchased the same books. What?
I like looking through this book. I have too many Disney books, and I want to read them all now, which is a problem. But that's okay. Eventually they'll come. So we kind of talk about this. You guys will hear more about these books, but I thought it'd be fun, since this is visual, to at least show you the books. Then when you're listening to the episode and to the bonus episode, you know what we're talking about, or you can see what.
Did you mention the bonus episode yet?
I did, but okay. I don't remember if I was talking about it when they could hear me or when they couldn't hear me.
Yeah, so this month's bonus thing is we're going to talk about the show and sale as a bonus episode. So if you're a supporter...
I actually have a designated Disney book shelf now. I have an entire bookshelf designated just to my Disney books because I own more Disney books than I do non-Disney books at this point in my life. I don't think it's a problem though. It's not a problem.
So if you're at the annual pass holder, which is $5 per month or more, you get the bonus episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So
the bonus episode, if I talked about, I apologize if you heard this part already. I'm gonna just repeat it just in case I said this when you couldn't hear us. But the bonus episode this month focuses, it's more in depth on the Disney Anna sale than what we did for the episode. The episode, we definitely still talk about it, just not as specific as what we talked about for the bonus episode. So like the bonus episode, we talk very in depth about different tables and all that, whereas the the regular episode, we really focused on Saturday, which was the presentations and the Legends dinner, and then just kind of did an overview of the sale. I still can't believe that. And that was just last weekend, wasn't it?
yes, the show and sale was 1 week ago today in the morning.
Come on. How is this real life? That's just incredible.
Right.
Okay, so we both, Tag and I, picked up the Claude Coates book. We couldn't pass this up because they had a sale on it. Like if you purchased it at Disney Anna, I think we saved
$5 or something?
10. Like 10 or 11, maybe
me.
even $12. So this book is normally $65. We picked it up, I want to say, for $54. But not only was it cheaper than if we would have bought it, online or whatever, but we both got signed copies. So that was pretty cool. We got to sit and chat with David Bossart, who was hanging out at the Old Mill Press booth. The other fun thing too, Old Mill Press is the publisher that is putting out the poetry book for the author that we had on. When did we have Matt on?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so Matt was on a couple weeks ago talking about his Disneyland poetry book. Well, this is Old Mill Press did this Claude Coates book, and they also did Matt's book for him
a month
too.
ago in April, episode 231.
I'm excited about this because there's something cool about, right, it's history, but then it also has all these photos. Look at all these amazing, I don't even know what they all are yet, but I'm excited. This is the submarines.
Hi, Nathan.
Come on, look, here's one of Walt, hanging out with the different pirate heads. Amazing. Just amazing. So there's that.
We also saw our friends Lynn and Ken from the Sweet Spot. They were there with their books, the Cleveland Kingdom series, and then we also saw David Koenig, who was there, who we had on. I don't even remember when we had him on.
2020, I think.
Yeah, because he was he was the 55ers and the
2021. Because I think we had him on around the 65th.
Episode 140, which was July of 2020.
Okay, I was right the first time.
And Lee, yes, we did stay at the Howard Johnson. And for those of you who are not aware, if you go to DLWeekly.net, there is a link on the homepage that you could save up to 20% booking with the Hojo with the codes that are on there.
Yeah, it's a deal special for weekly tiers. We're pretty excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
But you all know us. We wouldn't be talking about places if we didn't believe in them. And honestly, we stay at the Howard Johnson. That's our first go-to is Howard Johnson, and we panicked because this time there weren't rooms available, and so we're like, oh no, where are we gonna stay? And so, but we kept checking.
We booked with another hotel because we needed a hotel room, and then we tried the Hojo again. We ended up getting a room, so thank goodness. Then we canceled the other one. So there you go.
Yep. So then we also both purchased this book. I'm gonna be real honest. I did not know that this book existed. But as we were talking with David, I just kept looking at this book and I couldn't not, and the price, this was cheap. I want to say this was maybe only $20 or something. It was not, for a Disney book, it was not very high priced. And again, it was cheaper because we bought it at the sale, or at the Disney Anna sale than if you were to buy it another time. But this is a book about the Disneyland Hotel, and there were two versions. He said this one was really good for an overview. So this is Disneyland Hotel 1954 through 1988. There was another version of this that pinpointed a more, maybe it was like a decade, maybe 2 decades, much more detailed about a a shorter period of time in the Disneyland Hotel
Yep.
history book. But he said this was a good one. You know, if you don't really know much, like if you want kind of a general, do this one. I want to say we picked up this book for $24, which
Yeah, that's
again,
not
steal
bad.
because the author was not there. Donald Ballard wasn't there, but they were signed books. So I mean, come on, I didn't know I was gonna ever be to this level of Disney nerd, but here I am getting everything we got this weekend. I wanted it signed, so I was chatting with the people, and I thought it was so cool. But again, look at all these amazing photos. I love picture books. Come on, and I keep getting these, I keep accidentally opening to these amazing pictures of Walt. He's like hanging out with the monorail there. Anyways.
Well, which book did you love, the Disneyland one or the Cloud Coats book?
Because I still haven't actually read my
Oh, and Stephanie's in our chat. Hi, Stephanie.
costuming.
Stephanie was great. She had been to Disney and
She
stuff
was
before.
like our personal plaid for Disneyana.
Yeah. She knew a lot of the people there and was able to help answer some questions. She facilitated us basically coming up and talking with Terry Hardin at the Disneyana show and sale because we wanted to get the postcards signed.
Oh, Bossert.
And all of that stuff. So we very, very thankful to Stephanie for helping us so much with that and kind of being our training wheels, I guess, at the first Disneyana event. So
I'm hooked, man, Stephanie. I'm gonna try and make it out to all the events if I can, like, all the big events. I'd
Yeah.
love to make it out to all of the Disneyana events, period. But I'm sure there's way more happening that I would be able to fly back and forth for if I had my teleporter.
And we're very excited because we did make some contacts with some folks that we're hoping to have on the show. We haven't officially booked anything yet, but we're really hoping to have the president from Disneyana on. We talked with her; she was lovely. We're hoping beyond hope, but we don't know anything yet. Maybe Bob Gurr.
I wouldn't even tease those because those are like
Garner
pie in the
Holt.
sky.
Gardner Holt said he would do it. He actually thought maybe he had been on our podcast already, which is kind of exciting. Of course, Terry Hardin. I don't know. We're going to try all these folks. And then there was just some people there that were super cool that we talked to.
Will, that's pretty amazing.
So.
He has a signed Bob Gurr Design for Fun.
Oh, Rolly Crumb.
And
I
Rolly
was.
Very cool. Very cool.
And Liberty was there too. She was able to come down for the Disneyland event as well, and she was in the parks a couple days as well. But she got to ask Bob Gurr a question.
Mm-hmm.
So did I, which was great. I feel like you just had a lot of questions you wanted to ask.
I was just being a sponge.
Yeah.
Because they could have been talking about anything in their careers, and I was just
Well, who would have thought?
just amazed.
We talk about this at length on this week's episode, but who would have thought that it would be interesting to listen about scooter design?
I mean, again, yes.
Spoiler
It
alert,
was
Bob
so
Gurr is designing
cool.
a scooter, like an electronic convenience
But
vehicle.
you know, it's not. Is it necessarily that the scooters, the most interesting thing in the world? No, but
He made it interesting.
his thought process on it was
Mhm.
just so cool to
Yeah.
kind of see the behind the scenes of Bob Gurr. You know how Bob Gurr goes at designing things and
Yeah.
how he looks at it and attacks it and all that stuff. Just incredible. I feel like it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity thing, but they have these events frequently, so I can experience it all over again.
Yeah, it was so neat to be in the room with these people who made things that we've experienced and we've gotten joy and stuff out of. And they're also humble. They're also just chill. They're just at least at this
Totally,
event, they were
yeah.
just yeah, it's cool.
Totally down to earth.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Terry came around to each table and said hi. Bob Gurr was hanging out in a scooter, wandering around. He didn't need the scooter, but he was doing it for research. Gardner Holt was pretty cool. He just seemed tired at the end of the night, so we kind of caught him at the end.
I'm sure he's got a ton going on, but it's also a long day.
And for those of you who don't know, his company made Murphy at Fantasmic. I did not know that. It was so cool. I will say, Will, you were talking about Bob being very fan friendly. He was selling posters and stuff at the show and sale, and Teresa and I both wanted to buy it, but I just don't think there was an easy way for us. We already had our luggage pretty full with everything.
Well,
we bought those books, and I was like,
we would have needed some sort of
tube. Yeah.
And he had his little Matterhorn not
Model.
sculptures, but the Matterhorn models
Yep.
that he has and signs. I don't remember what else he had at his table. Of course, his table
He had
was
the posters.
very, very busy the entire. Oh, the license plates
Yep.
was another thing, but yeah, of course, his table was super busy. Terry Hardin's table was super busy. We had a ton of fun chatting with her.
We didn't talk about
amazing, just an amazing.
You know what we didn't talk about on the bonus or on the main episode? She is designing a chess set right now with these amazingly big chess pieces that she's painstakingly creating, and then they had the hitchhiking ghosts that were lighting up. What did you think of those? Like, she made those. They looked really cool. I told Teresa, I said, "Don't look, Teresa. You don't have the money for this."
They were very cool. Lee, go to oldmillpress.com, I want to say, and look there, because that's the publisher, and we bought it from Old Mill Press, their table. So I wonder if you're interested in getting the hotel book that we have, if you can get it directly from Old Mill Press. That's also where you can get Fantasy in Maine, at the corner of Fantasy in Maine, which is the poetry book.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. This is the smaller one.
So yeah, that was the more focused one, 1954 to 1959.
Put that in the chat.
And then let's see if we can find the other one. Maybe oh, there it is. The early years, 54 to 88.
Order now.
Oh, and it's on sale, even better.
So that was the first one. That's the second one. I will select this really quick. Browser.
We're very excited because
this is the one we bought.
Speaking of the poetry book, our copy is on its way.
Should be here tomorrow. And then this is the other copy, the
more focused.
Yeah, more focused on the beginning. Also still for sale, author signed copy if you buy it. And then, of course, at the corner of Fantasy in Maine was the author we spoke to, the poetry author,
and
which you should get him soon.
It doesn't say coming soon anymore.
Mm-hmm. And it's
Very
an author signed
excited
copy, so yep, good books. Was the Claude Coates one on here too?
Yeah, I saw it somewhere. Maybe
Claude Coates Imagineer. Here we go. So this is the other one. Oh yeah, because we got it for like 50 something.
54. Oh, that's right. It was signed by Claude's son, Alan.
That's right.
Very cool.
Or you can buy it online, but
now I just want to sit on my porch and read these books tonight.
All right, guys, we're ending the stream early. See ya. We're gonna go read Disney books. I want to do that too. I just need to find some time. I feel like I just haven't had a lot of time lately. But I will tell you guys. I promise you.
What you have to do is
when
you
the
just
exchange
have to
boys go home,
kick something else off. So instead of one specific TV show or movie, you're just saying, nope, read instead, or your time before bed. Nope, I'm gonna read instead of scrolling the grams or whatever it is you do.
Scrolling the grams. How old are you?
Yes, Stephanie, I'm excited about the House of the Future book too. I'm so excited that I picked up the little promo card for it because I thought it was just a fun graphic.
It is a fun promo card. Did you
also
show them the
by
book?
David Bossert.
Did you see the bookmark? Did you show them the bookmark we got?
And I had to pick the bookmark up too because we had to support Matt, and whoever did his cover art, I think even it, though it's not our castle, I still think it's beautiful.
Why?
Hello, Bill. Anyway, so tons of fun. If you guys ever have a chance to go to the Disneyana sale for sure, because I want to say to get in the door for this sale was $8 for non-members, $5 for members. It's just amazing. Just amazing. So, yeah, do it. Do it if you can. Obviously, if you are there for one of the things that has the events where we were able to go see the presentations and then also the Legends Dinner, that was fantastic too. And if you can, become a member of Disneyana. It's only $20 for a year.
Hello, Eva.
So, super cool.
Can I undo how do I undo this? There we go. That's so Matt. There we go. Matt, I think this is the author, isn't he?
It is.
So Matt, I'm not sure what happened.
Matt, we summoned you. We were talking about your book.
YouTube.
Did you see? That's hilarious.
Well, YouTube was being weird, Matt. I don't know why your comment was deleted and you were hidden, but you are unhidden now, so I apologize. I I just got a notice it was like, was
It's
hidden.
like,
I was like,
it's
what?
like, we've angered the tiki gods.
Right. Walt, the Disney company's like, no, no, no. We do plan on going to the parks again in September when we go for D23. We're also hoping that one of the Halloween parties will be happening during that time. I mean, we have a lot of stuff we want to do on this trip because we talked. There was some stuff.
All
from
of the
Disneyana.
things.
Yeah.
We want to do all of the things.
We better be careful though, because the last time we scheduled all the things, COVID happened and everything shut down. So we should be careful.
Matt, I was gonna email you, but since you're here, I'll just tell you. So when we were at Disneyana last weekend, Old Mill Press had a table, and they had all sorts of promo materials for your book. And in fact, the person that we checked out with was like, "Have you heard of the new book that's coming out? It's this poetry book." We're like, "Oh yes, by Matt Mason." I think we kind of confused her. She was like, "Oh, you have heard about it." So we filled her in that we do the podcast, and we had that you came on the show and told us all about, and we already had ours ordered, and we were waiting for it to come, which it's going to be here tomorrow. So we're very excited.
So that's what I'll have to do first. Is I'll have to read that book quick because then I gotta let you borrow it because you want to read it.
Did you even know you had bookmarks? And then it's got this really nice write-up about what the book's about. I mean, how cool! What a fun little promo thing.
Lee, yes, the Exchange Boys did enjoy the prom. They were very tired, but they enjoyed it. Oh, he has an Imagineer that wants to be on our show.
You just send them on over.
Yeah, Matt. Just have him. Just email us some info. Give us some contact info. We'll try to make it happen.
Oh, fun! Bill, I think that might overlap.
When is the D23?
11th is the last day. September 11th is the.
You'd think that would be easy to remember.
I just said September 11th.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Because it's September 11th.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's the Sunday.
Where I don't even know where to find all of this stuff now.
Hang on.
Has anybody seen?
It's in my calendar.
Has anybody seen the Chip and Dale movie?
Perhaps maybe.
Oh yeah, 9th, 10th, and 11th.
Okay, the 11th is the Sunday.
So then,
I think,
what day are they
so
going to be there?
what I did, so we don't actually have specific dates set. For sure, we're going to be flying in probably the day before on the 8th, because that worked out really well last time. Because then, I mean, your expo starts on that Friday, and man,
in the morning, yeah.
That morning, and it starts early because the Legends ceremony is one of the first things that they had done previously. But what we did last time in 2019, which worked out really well, I think, was we did expo and then we did the parks afterwards. So that's how I just saved a hotel, big old block, assuming we were going to do it the same way. So that's what our hotel
you booked us for that already?
Yep.
For what day? 8th through the what?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I might need to extend it out since the 17th.
Your daughter was traumatized at the Rescue Rangers?
Janie's daughter was traumatized. So was someone.
No.
Okay. Just watched it today. Was good. So now here's a question because
You were skeptical, right?
I'm not understanding the two different animations.
Did you watch the trailer?
I haven't watched any of the trailers.
So the idea.
James told me that you have to watch the trailer. And
Because the general idea is that one of the two, Chip or Dale, I don't remember who, went on to become like a star, so they got the CGI treatment.
Oh.
And so the other one was like, really? Like,
Got
come on.
it.
Yeah, I think that's how it kind of... The bootlegging part, okay, well, I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
Super curious about this now.
It's good. It's like, I've heard from like everybody that's seen it that it was good.
So, my question for those of you that have seen it, were you Chip and Dale, did you watch Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, the TV show when you were younger, and so you found a lot of enjoyment in it because you had that connection? Or had you not seen the animated show and went into this kind of fresh and you still enjoyed it?
Did you watch the animated show when you were younger? Oh, I love that show.
BT before Teresa.
Oh, okay.
Oh, standing up for a character.
I will say that the one thing that I saw that was disappointing was
a lot of nostalgia.
Gadget and Monterey Jack and Zipper weren't in it very much.
You're spoiling it for some people.
I just said that they're not in it very much. Which is sad because Gadget is my favorite character in there, and I love their bleach bottle I can't remember what it was called, but it was their flying thing. It was a balloon. It was a bleach bottle. It had the wings. I loved it.
See, I watched Tailspin.
Tailspin was also very good.
That was what I like grew up on. So I think Rescue Rangers was right before. So I think I was either not alive yet, or I was too young for Rescue Rangers, or I simply didn't get that station on my whatever.
Well, I thought it was around the same time with Tailspin.
I don't know. Okay, good to know. Okay, I like this. I like that it was good for both types of fans. People that had the connection to the TV series and people that didn't. So that's cool.
Hi, Miguel.
Hello, Miguel.
And hello, Samuel. I don't know if I said hi to Samuel.
Anyways, does anyone? So I feel bad because I dropped the ball. Usually I try and prep for these so we have some sort of topic to go on about, and I did not prep, so I apologize. I'll be honest.
We've done pretty well.
Our Vern and I's at-home reception is next weekend, so I have been incredibly distracted doing things like ordering coffee cups and plates because the caterer is not going to be there for the cake cutting, so I need to provide my own plates and all sorts of fun stuff. It is not a Disney wedding.
You should have just told everybody, bring your own plate.
Bring your own plate.
If you want cake.
Yeah, man, I tell you, all the Disney wedding stuff.
Did you say we have to eat a lot of cake too? Because you ordered.
We do.
Yeah,
so
okay.
so my cake, it was the same. I ordered assuming one number, like worst case scenario, the most people we can have is this number, so that's how I ordered my cake. And if I go to the next size down, it's actually the same price as the bigger cake. So we're just gonna have lots of extra cake because why not? It costs the same.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how much.
Thanks for the forgiveness, Will.
Yeah, it was funny because usually Teresa has an idea, and I was like, "What are we gonna talk about tonight?" She's like, "Well, I was thinking we could talk about the stuff we bought while we were there, but I didn't tell you, so you didn't bring any of your stuff over." And I was like, "Yep."
Well, and we didn't. I mean, what else did we buy? I bought a Main Street Electrical Parade pin.
We got the popcorn and the zipper. The popcorn bucket and the zipper.
Oh yes, because we have amazing weekly tiers. I could go grab those, and I could like show you guys. If you don't turn me into Disney, I will show you something that I'm going to cherish.
Oh, you are going to talk about it.
Forever.
Go get it.
Yeah.
Go get it.
You got to talk about something else.
Go get it. I will send shout outs and thank yous. So there was 2 weekly tiers who were able to get us the popcorn buckets.
Let them know that we paid for them.
We did pay for them. We didn't pay extra. We paid the price that they paid for them, so there wasn't a markup or anything. So thank you to the 2 people who reached out to us that said that they had a set because they knew how excited we were for getting these. And so thank you guys so much for that. One person reached out over social media, and the other person we know from the weekly tier community. So thank you so much for that. Teresa's got this wonderful story when she comes back up about this item that she has now from the park. That I don't know. Are you gonna take it out of the plastic finally? Is it gonna happen on the stream?
I'll talk to them about that.
Well, why don't you do the one that's out of the plastic first?
So, no, because that's got the other stories attached to that one.
Okay,
so
well, I'm gonna turn off the
I now have
here.
this dilemma because the popcorn bucket was given to me in the unopened plastic, so now it's this like, do I want to open the plastic?
Can you turn it on through the plastic?
Oh, can I?
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to get this so you guys can see it. Is there? Oh, there you go. That's pretty okay. Is there a way to kill this quickly? We're gonna be in the dark. There you go.
There he is.
Ooh, that looks good on camera.
In all of his glory.
That looks good on camera.
I'm very impressed that his wings stayed intact and that his little like mohawk here stayed intact and his little beard. I don't know how this got into my luggage and survived, but I'm very happy it did. I packed it with all sorts of extra care.
Okay, and then what's the other one?
And then the other one, we turn this
also lights up.
Elliot off. And then we've got the little sipper. Yeah, the little turtle sipper.
You want to put it a little bit closer?
Well, the closer you get to the screen, then the more.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can. That's gonna be brighter, isn't it?
Anyways, you guys have seen these, I'm sure,
cool.
on YouTube, on Instagram, on everywhere.
Will says if it's in the plastic, it's worth more as a collectible.
See, that's my problem now. It's like.
But how are you gonna put it on display
I don't
in
know.
the plastic?
It's just this like
All right,
mental
folks.
thing. I didn't realize I was gonna have the option. So
When you show the other thing, can you do it like this? Can you like make it appear from the bottom
Sure.
of the screen?
Sure. I don't even know if anybody here knows about this other thing because I know I'm not gonna get in trouble by Disney, but I just have this weird like, oh gosh, I don't want to like. I had this fear when we were in the park that it was gonna get taken away from me. But
We're
so,
gonna be
anyways,
banned forever.
we're watching the Main Street Electrical Parade. It's
Back
our
by It's a Small World.
final night in the park. We're watching it by It's a Small World. And it was actually really cool because we were wandering the parade route trying to find a space and forgot that they had the magic shots back there for magic key holders with the, it looked like you were standing next to the parade things.
Can I show the creepy face?
Not yet. When we get to that part, yes.
Okay.
So anyway, so we went over there, had a really fun cast member take our photos, did the magic shots for us, and she said, "Are you guys gonna watch the? Are you looking for a spot to watch the parade?" We said, "Actually, yeah, we are." She's like, she got in real close. She's like, "Well, they just opened. Usually, they don't open the queue section of Small World. Sometimes they do.
As a
Sometimes
viewing
they don't.
area.
They don't always have it open as a viewing area." But she said they just opened it. So we went over there and
Perfect
got
spot, by the way.
front row seat, and the parade was stepping off from that entrance, and so it was a little funny. I all of a sudden look over, I'm like, oh my gosh, Tag, look at this. It was the creepy Mickey on the parade behind the wall, and it was just weird. It was just weird. We could just see Mickey's little head poking through before they lit up the parade.
Yeah, it was creepy seeing Mickey Mouse back there. I wonder if I can do the live shot. I don't know if I can get this to work, but it was just really funny because it was like he's being a creeper back there.
It just looked a little weird.
Oh, apparently it wasn't a live shot. That's why I can't get it to do that.
Anyway, so we're watching the parade, of course, having just a ball, and then Elliot comes out, and of course I'm always very excited about that. And all of a sudden I see something falling down from the air, and I see it bounce on the pavement, and I realize what it is. And so I just when I get really excited about something but don't have I'm so excited that the words aren't even coming, I just outbursts is what happens. And so what? I'm like, I explained what it was, and I said something just fell off of the Elliott float, and I think it's one of the bulbs, one of the little things for the bulbs. And so we we're watching, and he's like, oh my gosh, yeah. He's like, where is it? So I pointed it, and he saw it, and he's like, oh, I think you're right. So then we're of course fixated on this. There's a cast member that goes by that we figure is going to pick it up.
I thought the float was going to run it over.
Went, and we're there's no way that this doesn't get kicked off to the side or crunched or whatever.
And then the groups of people started going too.
Yeah, and so thankfully before the parade even started, the cast members came around multiple times, and because of fireworks, they said you need to, as soon as the dancing rope people come by, you need to exit with the parade. So we became part of the end of the Main Street Electrical Parade, which is so
super
much
cool.
fun in and of itself. But so Tag and I both just beelined because we thought it was still on the ground, so we had to beeline and see if it was there. So somehow,
I kept eye contact with it.
Not only did nobody step on it, not only did I see it actually fall off of Elliot, but I'm now the proud owner of a Main Street Electrical light bulb cap. I'm so excited about that. You don't understand.
The problem is she doesn't know how she's going to display it. I said she needs to get a glass thing and put a light in it.
Custom display. So I'm like, what kind of Disney magic was this that of all, how many times has anybody watched this parade? Have you seen one of these things fall off of the float? And the fact that it was Elliot's right in front of me, and that I happened to see, I don't understand how all
Elliot's
the
her
Disney
favorite
gods
float
lined up for this little plastic piece to be in my hand right now.
And then I handed it to her, and she was clutching it like pearls.
I was clutching it with my life, we can't lose it.
I did take, I want to show people this picture.
The other thing that's insane, it fell on the opposite side of Elliot from us. So it wasn't it fell on the side that was closest to us, it was on the opposite side of the street.
Let's see if this works.
bursting
So
with excitement.
this is later when we were waiting for the fireworks, basically right afterwards.
And then
She's so
I had this
excited.
like really weird fear that if somebody saw it, they were going to take it away from me.
Here gives you a good idea of where we were.
That's when Stephanie, one of the Lampwick characters, threw a bulb at her.
Oh. So this was, I don't know if this will like focus or not, but this was our view from the gate right outside there. So.
And then the next thing was I was so worried that I was going to accidentally smush it. Like either that night in our bag or like in my bag getting it back. So the bulb has been living in a plastic Disney bag inside of the turtle zipper until I figure out what I want to do with it. I don't know if it's the bulb that's the cool part or if it's the story that's the cool part, but.
Oh, here. These will probably be posted later, but I'll show you guys now. So this is me and Teresa. We got a picture with Bob Gurr. Awesome.
Very excited.
Awesome.
I told Tag, I'm like, I look weird. And he's like, why? I'm like, because I'm not wearing ears.
This is how close we were to him for his presentation. Like, this was from my seat, not zoomed in.
I think at that point he was probably standing in front of like Stephanie then.
Mm-hmm. Where was the other? Oh, it must be later. So we got a picture of Terry.
Oh, that was the next day.
So this is us with Terry Hardin. Let's see if I can do it this way. With Terry Hardin at the show and sale.
Mm-hmm. So fun.
That was it, I guess.
Stephanie, do you display your bulb?
That was thrown at her.
And if you do, how do you display it?
I tell you, you just gotta
I
take
could just get a little shadow box and like
That's what I was saying.
put it in the shadow box. But if I want to light it up, I got to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. Guess that was it. I guess I didn't have anything else.
You know what I could do? I could just get those like little tiny battery pack of fairy lights and put them like inside around the inside part of the frame, so it's behind
Sure.
the frame. Have my bulb in the middle, and just like
You need to put
turn it on
a
when
Christmas
I wanna
light
turn it on.
into the thing
That's
so it
the
looks like it.
complicated part. We'll see. We'll see. Once I figure it out, I'm sure I will share photos of the finished product because I feel like I can't like just have it in a drawer or something. The bulb's inside of a china cabinet with other Disney stuff. See, she's got hers protected. And you probably have one of the cool bulbs, Stephanie, that's actually like not itty bitty tiny plastic thing like what I have.
Oh, see, you should do like their. See, this is their original
Mm-hmm.
thing when you could buy a bulb from the electrical parade the first time.
That would have been cool. Did those light up? Did they like the big? Because there's a giant, huge base on it. I wonder if those lit up.
That's a great question.
That'd be cool if they did. Anyways.
I was just curious. I was going to look at photos here to see if anybody else had done something like this. Sorry.
Hire an electrician. Good idea. I like your idea, Donna. That's great. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Again, I don't know if it's the bulb that's the best part or if it's the story of how the bulb came to be. I still just can't believe that it was there. So yeah, Mel, they were in the process of taking the stump down when we were there last week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the stump, the stairs part is fully removed. The tree itself, though, they're not removing the tree, they're retheming the tree. They haven't announced what it's going to be yet. There's all sorts of speculation,
Right.
of course, but they haven't actually announced it. We're really excited because one of the Imagineers that's working on it is Kim Irvine, and I think
You know it's going to be great.
yeah, I think she does. I mean, she has such a love and passion for the like
Legacy
the
of
park.
the park,
Yeah,
too.
that's a good way of saying it. The legacy of the park, the charm of the park, the history of the park, all that. Like, you know, she gets it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's really I always really like when she's involved in projects because I trust her, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, you guys can go back and listen to those episodes. I was a little nervous with the castle when they were repainting the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Because we didn't know exactly what it was, but as soon as we saw the artwork, and then it on the castle.
Yeah.
It just made total sense.
And you know, when I first saw it, I thought I didn't like the stars, the gold stars in the top, but now it's so weird because I see pictures. It's so weird to look at pictures from a few years ago when it was kind of faded and needed to be repainted, and how dull it looked, and how beautiful and it pops now.
I wish I would have, because we actually spotted and spied a unpainted turret in the back part of the castle, kind of over by.
Oh yeah, you
Alex.
were like, "What's going on here?"
I was like, "Wait a minute!" I was really confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, you were telling us that there was termite damage, which I think is ironic, being a fake tree. But I mean, it's obviously not built out of.
We're also curious about the new
I'm
Pirates
really-
Queue.
Will we are
Magnolia trees.
we
they
were,
planted. We found that out.
those people that were trying to find a crack in the construction fence to see if we could see something going on, and we did find a couple little cracks in it. There wasn't enough going on to know what was going on.
Sure.
We saw the trunks of the tree, but they still had everything dug up, and it was still, they didn't have any concrete or anything, bricks, or they didn't have anything on the ground except for the dirt. So they're still in the process. So, but Pirates is coming back. If you haven't heard, it will be coming back.
6
July
weeks.
1st is
6 weeks.
the targeted date right now.
6 weeks. I'm excited to see what they've done, because with this longer first, I assume that they will have refreshed a lot of things. Do you know what I hope that they fixed that I feel like was missing a lot the last time I was there? There was 1 or 2 of the fireflies, and I hope they bring more fireflies back, because those used to be everywhere. I also hope that hopefully all the stuff we're having complaints about, the turntables that were super loud and all that, hopefully all those things work really well. And the lift at the end, I feel like they were really babying that, so hopefully whatever they need to do to make that back to capacity will be good.
Yeah,
and of course Blue Bayou.
Yep, and I hope the animatronics get some TLC, especially
Like Jack Sparrow?
The final Jack Sparrow. He needed a little love.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll, with how long they're having it down, I'm sure they're paying super close attention and taking their time on stuff, which is good.
I'm curious what the queue is going to be, though, because they keep talking about, online places keep talking about that the queues are going to be different.
Yeah, it's a lot of speculation. So, and really, they haven't given any details about it. So, who knows? It might be exactly the same.
I just had the most ridiculous idea, and obviously it's not true because they're taking the tree thing down. But I was like, what if you went up in the tree and the queue was the tree, and then you came down and then you were in Pirates?
The extended queue was Tarzan's tree.
Well, they have that upstairs queue for the Jungle Cruise, and that works really well.
That's true.
Maybe they turn the Dream Suite into an extended queue.
That would be the most popular attraction because everybody would just want to be in the queue.
In the queue, yeah.
Not that, I mean, arguably, it is
I think on our community hangout,
sure.
we were talking about Club 21 Royal, the restaurant that's up there, that you can spend $15,000 for you and 11 guests or whatever to go up and have this. And every time we talk about it, people are like, we should do a group weekly tier thing where all of us pay like a little part, and because it'd be so much cheaper if everybody paid a little bit.
AKA still like $1,200 to $1,300.
Yeah.
That's true, Will, when Property Hotel Perks will come back.
Yeah.
If they'll come back for summer or not. I feel like that's probably not going to come back for summer. They're probably going to wait until the slower season and not the. I don't know though, because Halloween's super crazy too. But it, like the extra magic hours and all that stuff.
Oh, sure.
I also wonder how that would work for reservations. I would assume, I mean, all speculation here, but I would assume if your reservations for Disneyland, your magic hour is only Disneyland.
Oh,
like you can't
that adds a whole bit of complication, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't do your magic hour in DCA, leave, and pop back over. So it's interesting. Maybe they're trying to figure out logistics of that, and that's why it's taking all the time. Because didn't it used to be like
it was certain days had certain
days for certain parts. So it was like today was DCA, tomorrow's Disneyland, that kind of thing. So. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know what I miss? So when my mom first took me there in the late 80s, early 90s, we would always get like a package to the Walt Disney Travel Company, and she would always get the Magic Morning thing, which came with like a breakfast. And I remember the breakfast was really good at what is now the Galactic Grill. It used to be called
Is this where you
else.
discovered your breakfast potatoes?
No. The breakfast potatoes came in the early 2000s when we went to the Riverbell Terrace. those breakfast potatoes, and they're gone. You can't have them anymore. It was like the best food Disney's ever had. They just got rid of it. Not really.
I wouldn't say it was the best food.
You know what I'm sad about? I'm sad that I spooked myself with our buffet, and I didn't end up getting my grilled cheese and tomato soup at Jolly Holiday.
You wouldn't even take a bite of
I know.
my sandwich.
Good thing that I ordered the lobster roll and the funnel cake and stuff before all of that
That's
happened,
true.
because that night I would have been like, Teresa, this is all you.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have allowed you to order I didn't think you were gonna order the funnel cake, and then all of a sudden you came around the corner with the funnel cake, and I was like, how are we eating the funnel cake?
I know how we are, and if we would not have ordered it then, we maybe would have forgot about it. Donna, we don't know yet.
No, yeah, they haven't said anything.
I
There
can't
hasn't been
imagine
any
that they won't.
announcements from Disney.
The breakfast restaurant is so good.
But I would have to assume that
They'll allow renewals.
that there's got to be a renewal of some sort. Maybe with the ongoing lawsuit, they're going to revamp the top tier, or even maybe the top tiers, since both of those are currently sold out. I don't know.
Do you think that there will be a price change?
I don't know if there'll be a price change or not.
Samuel, of course we can. Colin and Addie, hello.
I think it's so fun that we have younger weekly tiers that listen to us be all nerdy and get enjoyment out of the podcast. You all are amazing. You, Colin, and Addie, also you, Sam, and all of our listeners are just incredible. I think it's just so fun that we have been able to connect and virtually, and some of you even in person, met in person, throughout this community. And I think it's just so cool and so fun that we all have the same deep love and just warm fuzzy feelings about Disneyland, and that we get to share that all together.
Yeah. Mel, I have no idea about the Finding Nemo subs. They are refilled now. It has not been open since COVID, so everybody's got to be recertified and everything on it. Fresh Baked, David from Fresh Baked said that he thought
it's gonna take some
July.
time.
He thought.
July?
Maybe. By July.
Yeah, maybe. It's gonna take some time, because the other thing too, you're talking about training people. They need to hire staff, because they don't have anyone hired for the staff right now. You know, hired to staff it now, since it's been not.
I will say,
up and running.
David from Fresh Baked had a video that I watched this morning about the construction updates, and I wanted to say that I think I agree with his sentiment. So he got some video footage of it full from the monorail, like you do, and he said, I don't really like the subs as an attraction, but gosh darn it, I'm so glad that they're here for the atmosphere of the lagoon and everything. And I agree, and as much as I always talk about that they need to get rid of the Autopia, and they need to get rid of the subs and redo this whole Tomorrowland thing, I do think part of me would miss a lagoon, because that is kind of a cool thing.
I think the thing with the lagoon is we like it so much because Tomorrowland is
stagnant.
Well, stagnant, but it also just kind of feels like the surface of the sun. You've got a ton of pavement, and not the only shade that you really have is from the skeleton of the People Mover track. You know, that's the only. There's no trees. There's no shade screen things, and so you're just you're walking through the desert or something, and then it's like the lagoon is like the mirage of the oasis. And oh, that looks so nice and refreshing.
Make me want to jump in it with the bubbles and stuff.
So I think because of Tomorrowland's design, that's why we why we like the ambiance of it so much. If they did some things to make the area a little bit more shaded and less surface of the sun feeling, I don't know if this sub lagoon would be as big of a drop. I do enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I love the colors. I love the crystal clear water and the vivid pop of all the different corals and different plants in the lagoon. I do really love the colors, and I think again look at the rest of Tomorrowland. I feel like the rest of Tomorrowland's pretty colorless.
Sterile.
Yeah, it's just such a contrast to the rest of the land, and so I think that's why that's why we love it so much. If anyone understands what I'm saying, or if that makes sense.
Oh, hi, Addie. Of course. We're so glad that you listen.
Oh, that's very exciting.
That's awesome.
That's super cool. I love it.
Yeah, Tomorrowland.
Addie, what's your favorite, let's go attraction since we're talking about the subs. Characters would be another fun one.
You know what came
we
up?
have meet and greets now.
So next week, the episode of the Hub Crawl that goes out there is what. I'm curious what your answer is to this one. So the question was, which attraction is like a must do for you every time you go, even though your family or friends or whatever might be going again? No, but I mean like it's something that like you like that other people are like again. Because I think the Haunted Mansion's popular enough that that's not a again.
If you go every day on it in a multi-day trip, you do get the again.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I said that Little Mermaid, because I actually had that happen, and I want to say I brought you
Little
up
Mermaid.
with one.
I like doing Little Mermaid multiple times.
And I brought up that you were saying like again for some attraction that I was excited about that I feel like you were like really.
I like sometimes. So during the wedding trip, I ended up doing the Tiki Room multiple times. That's not one that we usually do multiple times, but we really enjoyed it. Something that you brought up and I kind of again do.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because there's something that I don't remember what it was. I'll have to look at our script. But but it was funny because I was like, Teresa sometimes looks at me like, "You want to do that again?" What was it? You know what's gonna be? I'm gonna say it. And you're gonna be like, "Oh yes."
Casey
yes.
Jr. probably.
Casey Jr. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Because you were like, I just don't get it. I'm like,
no,
I don't know. I just love it.
No, I love Casey Jr. too. I don't love doing Storybook and Casey Jr. sort of back to back because I feel like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the times we're trying to be efficient and we do them back to back. So I don't like doing them back to back.
But you also don't understand my excitement for Casey Jr.
Because every time you're like, it's so exciting. You're like, it's slower.
It was slower.
So
and then poor James was like, I'll ride it, I just don't want to be in a cage. And then he ended up in a cage.
Yep.
Alone.
So, Donna, it's purely speculation, purely rumor. There is nothing official from Disney about a redo of Tomorrowland.
D23's though.
There is a lot of speculation that there will be an announcement at D23.
Yeah.
They have been publicly saying that they're redoing the entrance, which is like...
They still haven't finished.
In some weird thing.
That room...
There's speculation about it for D23, and that's all we really have.
Imagine when we're in the room for the Parks panel, and they announce this, how the room will explode. And then if they mention details, and if they somehow... They won't. But if they somehow... Again, they won't. If they somehow are able to bring back the people mover, people's heads will explode and everybody will die.
They'll have to be scooping us all up off the floor.
You know what? If Disney brings back the people mover, I will not complain about them anymore ever again. I will pay whatever they charge me. I will deal with weird mobile order issues. I will not have a problem.
I would like the buckets to come back. I would like to have experienced the Skyway.
They could do it now because one of the main issues was that people were like throwing things off it. All they have to do is do like they do.
Skyliner.
Well, or do like the Skyliner, or do like the Mickey's Wheel of Death or whatever he calls it, where it's got the cage and you can't throw stuff out.
I like the Skyliner is nice because it's still clear.
You can still see everything, yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, Will, the 1967 redo of Tomorrowland to the 90s when they redid it, that was a good version of Tomorrowland. There was a lot going on.
Yeah. I personally do think there is hope because a lot of what everyone was saying prior was, they can't just shut down an entire land. Well, guess what? We have an entire land shut down right now. Toontown is totally shut down and out of commission, and they're kind of almost doing that, not totally from scratch, but they're doing a very big overhaul.
They could phase it too.
So I feel like with how Tomorrowland's set up, you could do it, and you could, if needed, phase it. So
because if they shut down from Main Street to like the Star Trader and the Tomorrowland Terrace, Galactic Grill, they could work on that section. And then they could do the Space Mountain section, and then they could do that other section.
Yeah, I don't know how, well, if they'd have to do, I feel like if we get a Tomorrowland update, refresh, whatever you want to call it, I do feel like part of that would be having to do something with the People Mover track.
The People Mover track wouldn't
Which
be
is
that hard
kind
to tear down, I'm telling you.
But it's kind of all over the place is what
That's
I'm
true.
saying. So
it does
like,
weave through everything.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, yeah, so I don't know. Space Mountain's not going anywhere. I'm not
No.
worried about Space Mountain.
No.
I do think everything else might be on the table, though.
Do you think that they might bring that same
Even with
design
how
they're doing for
popular Star
Tokyo
Tours is.
to our Space Mountain? That would be cool.
Could.
That would be cool. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I'll see if I can bring it up real quick since we have OBS. But the Space Mountain, they have a thing recently that they are redoing the Space Mountain in Tokyo, and it's gonna look.
It's got a different like an update to the outside. So the outside of their Space Mountain looks like our Space Mountain, but they kind of it's almost like Tron meets Space Mountain sort of vibes.
It looks so. Whoop! That is definitely not the one.
You don't want to see all that. That's not exciting.
That looks
Talk
so
about
cool.
behind the scenes, but yeah.
That looks so cool. And look, some of these things, like this little design thing that they have in the front
like the
here.
top of the Space Mountain.
Yeah, like, and this other thing kind of over here to the left. That's so easy for them to build and do. It'd be
This
so
looks
great.
like
Good night, Lee.
That's true, Bill. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway would be eating up a ton of people, so that would help with. Yep, that's very true. Very true. Can you? Thank you.
I also missed the speed ramp, Stephanie.
I never got to experience.
So you know what? You know the end of Haunted Mansion, the little ramp. They had that. They went from the bottom to. Ugh. They had that on tons of attractions.
Nathan, so purely speculation, but if they do this, they wouldn't do this until Toontown is open again.
That's correct.
They're not gonna have two. There's no way they'd have two lands shut down.
But will I
Prior
agree
to
with you?
Toontown, we didn't think there was any way that they were going to shut down an entire land in Disneyland. Why we thought that, I don't know, because Bugs Land was shut down.
And
they started small, they're just getting bigger and bigger.
They've shut down lands before. When they did the Tomorrowland redo in '97, they shut the
Yeah.
land down. And I know it's a little different now. Will, I'm with you. They should just bulldoze a bunch of stuff. They should stop trying to shove things into the buildings that are currently there and build something cool. And Donna, somebody did make a good case to me about this. I think it was Eric from Concierge. He said, we have these like memories of things like the Carousel of Progress and Inner Space, but the reason that they were closed and moved on was they didn't have the ridership.
Yeah.
And so I think that and I might even feel this way a little bit about the People Mover, is my nostalgia for the People Mover might be more than my enjoyment of the actual
true,
People
because
Mover.
We'll have to see if we can. I don't know if I know the true reason. I mean, the People Mover must not have been doing well, and that's why they decided to turn it into the rocket whatever.
Rocket rods, yeah.
Which, as we all know, was a huge success.
Well, we talked to somebody who had only been like once, right? And had gone on it.
And it happened to be when the rocket rods were there. Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. It is past 8:30 our time. I know it's not that late in Disneyland time, but in the Midwest, it's quite late. So, thank you guys for
8:30, quite late.
Well, you know, we're old. We're old.
Like old people.
So
to bed early.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We love seeing all you guys here. Some new people as well. So listen to the episode this week. We're going to talk about the Disneyana event some more. And hopefully, as things goes on, we're going to have some interviews and stuff lined up. That'll be really nice, too.
So I forgot to say this in the podcast, but I'll let you guys know. So my biggest thing was, yes, I wanted to experience Disneyana because it sounded amazing, and it was totally amazing.
Yep.
But I just looked at like the potential of, look at how many people we could meet and how many like cool people we could possibly maybe have on the podcast. So we spent a lot of time trying to connect with people, and I was shook at myself because I am not normally the person, but this is usually a tag thing, not a Teresa thing, where I just strike up a conversation with a total stranger, and then like 5 minutes into the conversation I'll be like, so we do this podcast and I think what you do is really interesting. So anyways, so I have 6, 7, 8, something like that, people that we connected with that showed some interest in being on the show. So we're hoping that we can make those things happen.
And a wide variety, too.
Yeah, all sorts of really cool other Disney people. So hopefully you'll be hearing from them very soon on DLWeekly. So anyways, good night, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening. Thank you for supporting in any way. I mean, hanging out with us tonight is supporting. Listening is supporting. You know, you don't have to be a patron to be considered a supporter in our eyes. So thank you for all you do to support us on our crazy, wild adventure.
Leave a review on your podcast app of choice of the show. Rate it, that kind of thing. That all helps as well. So, all right, guys, have a great night. Rest of your weekend.
Thanks, everyone.
What's left